Hi, in this video, we're going to take a look at configuring extended IPv4 ACLs, both numbered and named. So in an extended ACL, we can filter based on source IP address, like standard ACLs, but also destination, protocol, port numbers, etc. So here's an example of using port numbers, 23, 21, 20. But we can also use keywords like telnet, FTP, and FTP data. So this will all make sense here in just a moment. The keywords that we use really depend upon the protocol that we're using. So here we have an access list 101 permit. This is an extended ACL. I'll go over the syntax in a moment. TCP any equal. So this is looking at a destination port numbers. So some, but not all. So we can use a port number 0 through 65535, any of the 16-bit port numbers for TCP and UDP, or we can use a keyword if the keyword exists. Not all port numbers have a keyword associated. So you may have to use the question mark if you prefer to use the keywords. Okay, so extended ACLs, they just give us a lot more control, as we're going to see here in a moment. Not just looking at source IP, but destination IP and a bunch of other things as well. Let's take a look. So an extended ACL, okay, we can filter both on the protocol and the destination address. So first of all, if we're using a numbered ACL list for extended, it's 100 to 199 or 2000 to 2699. Protocols, IPv4, IPv6, TCP, UDP, ICMP, EIGRP, all kinds of stuff. Okay, and similar to what we saw with standard access lists using the any and host keywords, we can use that for the destination as well. Okay. As far as the protocols, we can filter based on an entire protocol like IPv4 or IPv6 or ICMPv4 or ICMPv6, or we can use the operator less than, greater than, equal to, not equal to, and give the port number or keyword. Okay, this will make more sense when we go through some examples. Now, these port numbers, if the operator and port number follow the destination address, then these are referring to destination port numbers. If we put the operator and port number after the source address and before the destination, then it refers to the source port. Okay, so destination port if following the destination address, source port if after the source address. And these will change depending upon what protocol we're referring to here. Okay, so obviously these are all, well, they're TCP and some look like UDP. All right, but use that question mark. And we'll go through some examples here. So port numbers versus names. So here's an example using numbers. Here's some examples using names. Okay, and again, not all protocols port numbers have a name assigned. Okay, for example, we can use SSH or we can use HTTP, but SSH and HTTPS do not have names. We can only use numbers for those, 22 and 443. Okay, use the question mark. Okay, so this here is a very simple extended ACL. So here's the number, that means it's extended ACL 101. We can also do names. Permit IP from any source to any destination. Here's an example. This is stating from any source to a specific host 10.1.1.1. Okay, so we can permit or deny from specific hosts or any host to a specific destination, or in this case, deny from a specific host going to any destination. So again, it gives us a lot more flexibility. Okay, here's another example. So here we're denying TCP, any packets from any source address telnetting to anywhere. Okay, so we're denying, so TCP equals telnet. So this is actually referring to the destination port telnet. So we're not allowed from any source to any destination. We're denying the ability to telnet. So that'd be the destination, well-known destination port, telnet, port 23. Okay, in this example here, we're denying packets from any source going telnetting to specifically 10.1.1.1. In this case here, we're denying any host, same thing as we did before, telnetting to 10.1.1.1, but we're using the keyword instead of the port number. Okay, so once again, if we use the keyword or port number following the destination address, it refers to a destination port. If we use the port number or keyword following the source address, it means a source port. Okay, so it makes a difference because remember the whole client server, how that works. Okay, from the client, destination port is a well-known port number. If you're from the server's point of view, the source port, I got two is's there. Source port is the well-known port number. Okay, so it makes a difference where you put this. Okay, whether you're denying traffic, in this case, telnet, denying traffic from the client or from the server. Okay. There are some protocols that require more than one port number, like FTP. Okay, for denying FTP, we use port numbers 20 and 21. Okay, 1 is for data, 20 is for data, and 21 is for control traffic, FTP control traffic. Okay, so here's an example, configuring a extended numbered ACL. All right, so here you notice we actually have two ACL lists, 103 and 104. This established keyword, okay, what that does, and I'm going to explain this more. Well, let's actually go to the next one. I'll explain it in a moment here. All right, so access list 103 permit TCP 192.168.10.0. Going to anywhere equal 80. So we're permitting anything from 192.168.10.0 that has a destination port 80, HTTP, to be able to go anywhere. Okay? We're also allowing the same for HTTPS. Okay? So ACL 103 allows requests to ports 80 and 443. Okay, so that allows us to send traffic out. Okay, and we've applied that ACL to interface G00 coming in. Okay, all right. Given nothing else on at ACL, everything else will be denied. Now let me explain this one coming out of that same interface. So we're going to apply a different ACL 104 coming out. So for the traffic back, the only thing that we are permitting is traffic coming from anywhere, going to 192.168.10.0, this subnet, established. So established means we're only allowing traffic coming in that had already, those port numbers, that connection has already been established. So we initiated the connection, port 80 or port 443 to any web servers out there in the internet. But we're only allowing traffic coming back in that we've pre-established. We've already done that three-way handshake. We initiated it. That's what the established means. So think of it as pre-established connection. Okay, so here's an example of denying FTP traffic. So here we go. We're denying FTP traffic from this subnet. Okay. And if we look here, and we're permitting anything else, but just denying FTP. But what's key here is we're both FTP and FTP data. So we're denying any FTP traffic from 192.168.11.0 going to 192.168.10.0, and we have to specify both FTP and FTP data. Permit IP any means anything else is permitted. Okay, here's a access list 102. So what we're denying is telnet traffic. So here we say access list 102 deny TCP any. So coming from any source going to 192.168.11.0 equal telnet. So this is anybody trying to telnet into this network is going to be denied. Okay, everything else will be permitted. Here's an example of a named extended ACL. So we say IP access list extended, not standard, but extended surfing. Okay, we've applied this ACL, and this is similar to what we did with a numbered ACL before with ports 80 and 443, but we're going to apply it to the gig 00 coming in. We say permit TCP, here's our source address. So anything coming from 192.168.10.0 going anywhere equal to port 80. Okay. Same thing, same source address, going anywhere equal to destination port 443, HTTPS. Okay. Now we're also going to create another extended named ACL called browsing. So that coming back, basically what this is this is applied to gig 00, this time coming out of gig 00, the return traffic. Remember that established? Well, this is where we're going to put it. IP access list extended, we call this browsing. And we say we're permitting TCP traffic from any source coming into our 192.168.10.0 subnet that's already been pre-established. Okay. We can verify these extended ACLs with similar commands that we've seen before. Show access lists, show IP interface, and that will show us what ACLs, numbered and named, have been applied to the interface. So these work for both numbered, named, standard, and extended IPv4 ACLs. Let's say that we made a mistake. We do show access list, and here in our named ACL, extended named ACL, we made a mistake. This should be 192.168.10.0. Okay, well, what we can do is we just go into our IP access list extended surfing. We say no 10, that refers to the sequence number. Rewrite that statement, this time with a sequence number. If we don't put a sequence number here, it's going to add it to the bottom, the end of the list, okay, before the implicit deny any. So putting this number here actually says this is the sequence number we want to give it. Okay, so I do show access list, and we can see, yes, definitely did put it where we wanted it to go. All right, so that's a little bit on configuring extended ACLs, numbered and named.